Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
AFP-PNP capture high-ranking CPP leader in Ilocos Norte. Philippine and Australian armies conduct explosive assault breaching training. More areas under signal number 1 as tropical depression Christine maintains strength. Fuel prices drop this week.
Good day everyone, as well to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo, Quezon City. Today is Tuesday, October 22, and we'll bring you the latest news from the armed forces and other information around the Philippines. I am Rofh Suzon for AFP Community News.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our stories, joint forces of the 5th Infantry Division and the Philippine National Police captured the top and notorious Communist Party of the Philippines leader following an intelligence-driven operation in Bacara, Ilocos Norte yesterday. Authorities successfully arrested Simon Fiariao Nagsan Sr., who is involved in multiple criminal charges. 5th ID Division Commander Major General Gulliver Senires commended the collaboration with the community, attributing the success to the whole-of-nation approach under the National Task Force to end local communist armed conflict. This marks another victory in the campaign against communist insurgency in northern Luzon.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Army's 9th Infantry Division, the Australian Army conducted civil-military operations in explosive assault breaching training at Camp Elias Angeles, Camarines Sur. This is part of Exercise Kasangat 2024-2. The said inaugural combined exercise involving 266 soldiers covers urban operations, close combat, cybersecurity, and tactical casualty care. The training will run until November 8, 2024, aiming to strengthen cooperation between the Filipino and Australian ground troops in the Bicol region.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
From First CRG, let us hear some information from Joanne about 50 Ilocos students to support government campaigns on West Philippine Sea.
A total of 50 youth from the Ilocos region participated in Elevate, the second phase of the Youth Summit of Region 1 Peace and Order Council Information and Education Campaign held from October 16 to 18, 2024 at Bawang, La Union. The summit primarily discussed the interventions of the government in the ongoing conflicts in the West Philippine Sea, thus provided the youth with a deeper understanding of the WPS issue. As the keynote speaker, Lieutenant Colonel Melanie Horca, Judge Advocate General from the Naval Forces Northern Luzon, emphasized the vitality of empowering the youth in understanding the complexities regarding the West Philippine Sea, creating a generation that advocates for the cause. Lieutenant Colonel Horca encourages the youth participants to recognize themselves as future leaders and essential contributors to the present. Avril Mira Ramirez, a student council committee member from Urdaneta City University, expressed gratitude for hearing accurate information about the West Philippine Sea, which contrasts with the disinformation circulating on social media. The Youth Summit First Phase Engage was held earlier this year. This is Joanne Sagaok reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Army and Malaysian Army concluded training activity Land Malfi at Camp O'Donnell, Tarlac yesterday. The exercise, involving 23 Philippine and 20 Malaysian personnel, focused on enhancing interoperability and combined arms operations for territorial defense. The training included key units like the Tank Battalion, Army Artillery Regiment, and Special Forces Regiment. It advances the Philippine Army's capability development and international military cooperation.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development successfully carried out re-engagement activities for 1,400 decommissioned Moro Islamic Liberation Front combatants in the Davao region through Kamustahan validation and assessment. The initiative, led by DSWD Undersecretary Alan Tanhusay, involved house-to-house visits to monitor the reintegration of combatants into their communities. The agency has so far assisted 12,000 combatants as part of their ongoing reintegration efforts.
Armed Forces Radio.
And more updates from First CRG. Let us hear more information from Maljoy about former NPA contact leads to the discovery of armed cash in San Agustin, Isabela.
Yes, Rofh, a successful joint operation conducted by the 86th Infantry Highlander Battalion, 502nd Brigade and the Philippine National Police led to the recovery of an armed cache in Sitio Lising, Barangay Santo Niño, San Agustin, Isabela on October 19, 2024. Recovered from the said armed cache includes one M16A1 rifle, one rifle grenade, 2 magazines, and 22 pieces of 5.56mm of ammunitions. The firearm was previously utilized by the members of the communist terrorist group under the dismantled Platoon 1 Regional Centro de Gravidad Comiteng Rehiyon Cagayan Valley led by Bangon Commanding Officer. The successful recovery was made possible through a tip-off from a former NPA contact. It can be noted that the municipality of San Agustin Isabela was declared insurgency-free on June 3, 2024, achieving a status of stable internal peace and security. In light of the operation, Lieutenant Colonel Empeso W. Angalao, commanding officer of the 86th Infantry Battalion, expresses gratitude to the local community for their trust and continuous support to the unit's current initiatives in sustaining the stability of peace in the whole municipality. Lieutenant Colonel Angalao also commended the relentless efforts of the Highlander troopers and the active role of the PNP and the other law enforcement agencies in sustaining and contributing to the safety and lasting peace and development within the area of operations. The recovered war material are now under the custody of the 86th Infantry Battalion for documentation and proper disposition. This is Meljo Inesio Arroco reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Meljoy from First CRG.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The 7th Infantry Masaligan Battalion honored First Lieutenant Annalyn Lonhawan with a plaque of recognition for her dedicated service during a ceremony that also facilitated the distribution of re-enlistment clothing allowance in kind to re-enlisted personnel. Battalion Commandant Lieutenant Colonel Arnel Calawagan praised her contributions and urged soldiers to use their newly issued military gear to uphold professionalism and readiness in serving the people of Negros Island. The event highlighted the unit's focus on recognizing personal achievements and ensuring operational preparedness.
DWDD National News.
And for our national news, Tropical Depression Christine is expected to intensify into a tropical storm in 12 hours. Pagasa said the center of the tropical depression was estimated some 760 kilometers east of Catarman, northern Samar. It is moving westward at 15 kilometers per hour. Tropical Depression Christine may intensify into a typhoon on Wednesday and make landfall in northern Luzon either on Thursday night or Friday morning.
Armed Forces Radio.
And we have a report coming in about Defense Secretary Chodoro calls for enhanced support for veterans at PIVAO 78th anniversary. Go for the details,
Rofh
Rocky.
Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. emphasized the government's obligation to reciprocate the service of veterans during the 78th founding anniversary of the Philippine Veterans Affairs Office. He highlighted plans to decentralize veteran healthcare services and create regional veterans medical centers to ensure better access. Moreover, he also called for improved preventive care for armed forces personnel and rallied veterans to support the government's defense initiatives to protect the nation's sovereignty. This is Rocky reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Rocky.
DWDD National News.
And more areas were placed under signal number 1 as Tropical Depression Christine maintained its strength. Pagasa said the storm signal was raised over Catanduanes, Masbate, including Ticao Island and Burias Island, Camarines Sur, and also the Albay, Sorsogon, Camarines Norte, and the eastern portion of Quezon. In Visayas, signal number 1 is up in Eastern Samar, Northern Samar, Samar, Leyte, Biliran in Southern Leyte, and also the Dinagat Islands and Surigao del Norte, including Siargao. Pag-asa officials also raised flash flood alerts in Bicol Region, Calabarzon, Eastern Visayas, and Zamboanga Peninsula.
DWDD National News.
Northern Samar Governor Edwin Ongjuan suspended classes on all levels in the province today due to heavy rainfall and possible flooding from Tropical Depression Christine. Ongjuan leaves the decision of work suspension and government on local chief executives. He also advised the public to take extra precautions and stay updated on TD Christine. Light to moderate rains is being experienced in eastern Visayas as of 8 p.m. last night.
Armed Forces Radio.
And for other updates, let's hear the details about Army Chief urges Sergeant Majors to inspire troops and uphold discipline. Go ahead, Beth Tañete.
Philippine Army Chief Lieutenant General Roy M. Galido emphasized the vital role of Sergeant Major and inspiring soldiers and fostering discipline during the closing of the Philippine Army Sergeant Major Year-End Consultative Meeting at Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City. He urged that the strengthened the non-commissioned officer corps and uphold integrity. He also encouraged them to ensure that all action reflect the Army Corps values of discipline, honor, and service. The event marked the 39th Philippine Army NCO Week celebration. This is Bethany reporting for the AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Beth Tañete.
DWDD National News.
It's already 12:12 in the afternoon, and you are still tuning at AFP Radio, the WWD Facebook page, and also happy viewing to our audience, especially to Rosalie Canona Suzon, to Dindo Ampan, to Belia Baricante, and Rose Consignado. Happy viewing to our audience.
DWDD National News.
And more updates from TD Christine. Around 782 passengers were stranded in various seaports in Bicol. This follows the onslaught of Tropical Depression Christine. Philippine Coast Guard Bicol recorded the highest number of stranded passengers in the port of Tabaco City with 502, followed by Matnog with 123, Pilar Port with 82, Mobo with 40, Bulan with 9, and Virac with 6 passengers. 88 rolling cargoes were also stranded and 44 sea vessels. The Office of Civil Defense in Bicol also declared a red alert status.
DWDD National News.
For other updates, oil firms implemented a moderate rollback in fuel prices today. This comes as tensions ease slightly in the Middle East. The per-liter price of gasoline dropped by 50 centavos. Meanwhile, diesel dropped by 70 centavos per liter and kerosene by 85 centavos.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now let's hear a report on the ground about AFP Joint Task Force NCR Dole Award Livelihood Assistance to Manila vendors. Going for the details, Kath.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines Joint Task Force National Capital Region awarded SEC registration and livelihood packages to 40 beneficiaries from the United Vendors Alliance at Quirino Grandstand, Manila. This was in partnership with Department of Labor and Develop, Department of Labor and Employment NCR, Technical Education and Skills Development Authority Manila, and the Manila Police District. Each beneficiary received a 5-in-1 food cart as part of the DOLE Livelihood Assistance Program. Additionally, 1,520 sacks of rice were distributed to 160 individuals. The said initiative aims to improve economic stability and support the marginalized sector in Manila. This is Kat reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Kath.
DWDD National News.
The Commission on Elections has rejected proposals to raffle the names of senatorial candidates in determining their arrangement in the official ballot for the upcoming 2025 midterm elections. COMEC Chairperson George Erwin Garcia said the candidate's name will be in alphabetical order. Garcia explained that if they agree to do it, then the Commission should also do it in the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, Sangguniang Bayan, including the political parties in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region and Muslim Mindanao. He also added that the COMEC only raffled the arrangement of party list groups in 2019 to avoid confusion owing to the huge number of participants.
DWDD. National News.
The Philippine Health Insurance Corporation and the Integrated Philippine Association of Optometrists have commenced the efforts to finalize the coverage guidelines for optometric services and prescription eyeglasses. They're aiming to finish those guidelines by the end of November this year. These initiatives follow the signing of a commitment by DOH Secretary Teodoro Herbosa and PhilHealth President and Chief Executive Emmanuel Ledesma Jr. In March, House Resolution number 1623 was submitted, urging the PhilHealth to incorporate optometric services into its benefit packages with a proposed coverage of up to 4,000 pesos.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear more from Gina about 14 CMO Battalion leads service caravan in Tuburan, Cebu.
Yes, Rofh, the 14th Civil Military Operations Katipanan Battalion participated in a service caravan for residents of Barangay Carmelo, Tuburan, Cebu. The event, led by the local government and various agencies, offered health services, free checkups, vaccinations, haircuts, and national ID registration. The caravan also featured a performance by the Katipanan Repertoire and free ice cream for children, fostering unity and joy in the community. The 14th CMO Battalion remains committed in supporting local peace and development efforts. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gina.
DWDD. National News.
For other development story, a majority of Filipinos support the proposed constitutional amendment on economic reforms. This is according to the latest survey by Tangere. 61.9% of the respondents back the amendments calling for economic reforms. The survey also highlights the varying levels of support across different regions and demographics. The support was biggest in northern Luzon and central Luzon and comparatively lower in Mindanao and the National Capital Region. The survey was conducted from October 14 to 16.
DWDD. National News.
Department of Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista urged the Korean companies to invest in the Philippines amid the national government's push to modernize the country's transportation system. Bautista explained that foreign firms' support would steer a ripple effect that catalyzes socio-economic growth in the communities situated along and around project sites. He said this would later generate jobs and livelihood. Currently, the Republic of Korea, through the Export-Import Bank of Korea, is bankrolling the new Cebu International Container Port, Maritime Safety Enhancement Project, and relocation of the new Dumaguete International Airport.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Glenn about Senator Tolentino commends 11 ID's peace efforts during Sulu visit.
Yes, hello, Rofh. Good afternoon. Senator Francis Tolentino visited the 11th Infantry Alakdan Division in Hulusulu yesterday. It aims to show support for the military's efforts in maintaining peace and security in the region. After receiving 4-year honors, Tolentino praised the division's success in countering terror threats and encouraged troops to continue safeguarding the province. He also held an executive session with 11th Infantry Division Commander Major General Leonardo Peña to discuss Sulu's security landscape and ongoing peace initiative. And this is your Glenn Gulchan reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Glenn Gultian.
Armed Forces Radio.
And more updates from Ella Mercado about EPD urges their constituents for a peaceful celebration of Undas 2024.
The Eastern Police District, under the leadership of their newly installed officer in charge, Police Colonel Villamor Tulyao, again reminds their constituents, especially those who will visit the grave of their deceased loved ones, to follow the rules and regulations will be implemented in their cemetery. The reminder is part of Safe Undas 2024 celebration in line to PNP's campaign Ligtas Biyahe 2024. According to Police Colonel Tulyao, among the suggestions to keep in mind by the residents who will visit the cemeteries within the area of eastern part of Metro Manila is the non-carrying of bladed weapon, avoid gambling, making noise, and carrying alcoholic beverages. He also encouraged to find the nearest first aid station at PNP assistance desk for their own welfare and safety. Tulyao added that their forces are ready for the said upcoming celebration of All Saints Day and All Souls Day by next week. And this is Ella Mercado reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Ella Mercado.
DWDD National News.
Moreover, the Bureau of Corrections said 240 persons deprived of liberty were released yesterday. This brings the total number of 6,110 PDLs released since January. Bucor Director General Gregorio Catapan Jr. said 124 prisoners had completed their maximum sentences, 30 were acquitted, 16 were placed under probation, and 69 were granted parole. One individual was turned over to jail due to a pending case.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that's all for today's broadcast. Thank you for joining us, especially to our audience in our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time and same station. Again, this is Rofh Suzon for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP.